Welcome to Getting Back Up, where grief meets growth.
Two men, two fathers, and one shared journey of rebuilding.
We're talking about life after cancer, love, loss, and everything no one tells you. I'm David McClain.
And I'm Jamal Jones, and welcome to Getting Back Up, Finding Life After Death. D, have you ever hit those days where you are tired of holding the world up on your shoulders?
Yeah, man.
I mean, I empathize with this. I feel this so deeply. And it's not that men don't deal with this all the time, but when you go through the loss,
right,
that grieving process, like it's heavier. And because you're carrying and just kind of you look normal, I feel like everybody thinks that you're just holding it all together.
Yeah, that you're functioning, but I mean, meanwhile, internally, man, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
So today, that's exactly what we want to talk about. It's about that strength fatigue. Everybody kind of reaches that point.
Yeah, you're talking about the pressure that widowers feel just from the idea, just from the dynamic of holding everything together. I mean, I'm gonna be like, shit, I feel it now. like
it's coming every day.
It's coming. Like, I mean, you know, I feel it now as my new marriage, this next phase. But then there's the elements of kind of the support in the family and talking to old family and friends who are from that part of your journey. It's still there.
Yeah, and man, we're just trying to let y'all know it's there, and the exhaustion is real, but it's not a sign of weakness.
Yeah,
it isn't breaking your exterior to the point that you aren't able to function and move on. We just want y'all to know you've been carrying stuff for a long time, and you need a break.
Yeah, no, and the break is necessary, and sometimes it is perfectly fine to scream mercy.
Yeah, there's no question about it, man. I can remember the times that just everything kind of felt like it was falling apart. There's too many people dependent on me, particularly in the household with all the different activities and everything else.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Yeah. You know, kids, work, the bills, maybe getting into another relationship to a great extent, but you know, life keeps moving, and we have to answer the call.
And like I said, I mean, I think a lot of people look at that and they look at you just holding it together, and they just assume that you got this. They just assume that, okay, you know, man, he's got this all figured out.
Yeah.
Or she, right? You know, you got this all figured out.
But speaking to both, for sure.
But the reality is, internally, you are just in many days surviving.
Yeah.
Right. And the pressure of all that weight, like it's visual, because it feels like, lifting weights. Like at some point, those muscles, they get fatigued.
That's it.
You start trembling.
You put them bad boys down.
Yeah, it's time to put it down. Right. Fuck this workout.
Let me get this.
But you can't.
Electrolytes going.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You can't do that here. Yeah.
So I know you have a few stories, I'm sure, or, you know, within kind of the framework of what we're talking about this week.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest, the story that I kind of feel that resonated with this was probably just at about a year after, my late wife passed away. And, I thought I was doing all the things. I'm thinking I'm checking all the boxes. It's stressful. I felt like I had the routine going.
Yeah.
I'm carrying everything, right, and dealing with the day to day. And, I decide I'm gonna go take a weekend, take a couple days an overnight by myself, and go out and just hang out with some friends. And
like the story so far?
So I took a trip from Austin to San Antonio.
Okay.
I think I went to see a comedy show, booked the hotel, and I'm like, all right, this is going to work out.
Yeah.
And man, and mind you, it was the one time that I was like, I'm going to take some time for myself. I'm going to take some time and really just be okay. I call family and, hey, and you watch the kids overnight? Cool. 11 o'clock at night, I get the phone call. Oh, we got to rush Jackie to the ER.
Oh, man.
I won't go into the details, but ended up, having to go, to ER. But it's an hour drive. And I'm just like, and we talked a little about the stress, the anxiousness that you feel when you get those emergency calls.
Those
talked
first
about
emergencies.
that. Yeah, those first
after
emergencies.
the passings.
We talked about that a little bit. But what we didn't talk about was the heavy weight that you feel every day. And in that day, I remember just like I get tension. When I feel tension and stress, it's in the back of my head, right? Like it's whatever's there, it tightens in the back of my neck, the back of my head just starts hurting and it feels tense. And I mean, I was just like driving and I just remember like, man, I am fatigued. I'm exhausted. I am like barely holding it together. And that was one of those times for me that it was just like, not yet. I need to call my family, need to call my friends, I need to call my therapist, need to check in with whoever, because I need, this is heavy. This is hard to carry every day.
Yeah.
That was the one time for me, that I recall in the earlier phase. And it's not that there was any shortage of it afterwards, but that was the one that resonated with me with the most. That one, it's heavy, it's a heavy weight, but just when you think you got it, there's going to be another boulder that's going to come. And sometimes you do have to acknowledge that this is a lot to carry. You can't do it all by yourself.
And that's the kind of state you have to stay in, really.
Yeah.
It's, again, living in the valley, looking up at the peaks.
Right.
That's how it is.
Right.
So there will be moments of joy, but then something else is going to come that you're going to have to deal with.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you talk about that pressure.
Yeah.
That and just kind of monitoring and navigating through it, really, right?
Yeah. And that was, I mean, it's you have no choice but to survive it. You have no choice but to carry the weight. You've got to get through it. And it's the important part of like, I mean, I think what people don't realize is not just the stress of those experiences, the stress of the everyday, but the stress of the burden and the weight itself.
Yeah.
The burden, the stress in and of itself is weight.
Yeah.
Right. Forget the everyday, what you're actually doing, but the worry and the stress that, oh shit, what if something happens? That's weight. That's another 10 pounds.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and forget the emergencies, forget the actual, workout itself.
Yeah. It's that stone that's always kind of, it feel the weight on your chest.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's just knowing it's there and let me work through this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know you got some good ones. We've had some conversations.
Oh man. I mean, it as you said, it keeps coming.
Yeah.
And I just remember just recently that my oldest actually, because stories are a little similar, that everybody's in bed and we had a big day. My oldest had a surgery and here she comes into my room at 2:30 in the morning now, not PM. When you say 2:30, usually that means AM.
Yeah.
Early.
Otherwise, you just call it the afternoon.
That's right. Right. Exactly. So, Dad, I threw up. Okay. I did make it to the bathroom. I said, all right. And I may have said, because I'm hardly awake. I'm more asleep than anything. I didn't say bad words, but it was, it was, oh man, basically, God damn it, basically. And so at this point, I'm a pro at cleaning throw up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We have, listen, our journey, I mean, like, I'm going to just be candid, like, chemo and all the after effects of that, you become pro. Forget who we may or may not have supported while we were in college.
No.
After parties.
That's right.
But going through this.
Blood, throw up, it doesn't matter to us at this point.
See it all.
So I have a good solution I put together. Just get that water, little vinegar, get the rubber gloves if you have some non-latex or you keep them.
$5.99 on it online. I'm not gonna give no shout outs.
Right. but you can get them.
You can get 'em.
Dollar General, whatever. I mean, you can get these things, and get a little water, get a little bit of vinegar going, and essential oils, lavender, lemon, whatever.
Yeah.
But you put the powder out.
And the lavender in them is necessary because it's calming.
Not only that, but it erases and cancels out that smell from throat, hopefully.
Yeah.
And you I always get confused, soda or powder. I think it's soda, where you lay it all out and it soaks everything up. It up with the paper towels, clean it up, and whatever. And all the while, the second time as I'm doing it and cleaning up and letting it soak up, it's like, y'all. And I'm looking at y'all gotta learn how to do this because when you're on your own or in college and you got to know how to do all this kind of stuff. Calm voice is that point.
Because you have to. You can't. Yeah. Like you take a few of those deep breaths.
Yeah. Let me get in there.
Stern face. Yeah. Tighten that jaw up so and you just yeah. But that's the weight.
That's
right. The weight is tensing up in that moment and saying and realizing you can't release all this pressure, frustration. All that builds up, right? It's like, when you in a gym, they don't want you, even though you go to the gym and you hear people yelling and they don't want you doing that.
That's right.
So when you get that weight and you just breathe through it.
You got to, because you're expending too much energy doing all that other. So I'm cleaning it all up and then, start a wash what was affected, that projectiles had hit. And you just then go back to bed, and then I had to take her to surgery.
Yeah.
Hours later in the hospital, and then come back for work, and then the other had events she had to go to. She had
the day doesn't stop.
Concert, so I'm cooking food for her, and that's just how it is.
Yeah.
So it is that sense of you have to be strong because you have to get through this, so that you can then take your break, whatever that break is. And so that emotionally you may feel depleted in these situations because there was somebody else who was helping you with that, and it's on you.
Right.
So you can't be strong all the time. Okay. Yeah. Well, then you take a little break a little later. Maybe I sleep a little later the next day or whatever, because you are depleted. And it's just these moments that you're always carrying this emotional load because it's having to do all this in this situation. But then you have to know that, okay, there's going to be a point where I'm going to have to let down so I can recharge again. So it's fine. It's that learning that, this exhaustion, it eventually catches up, but it should not be ignored.
Right. Yeah. And I think that's the important part, right? To recognize that although you're surviving through this, doesn't mean necessarily that you're functioning. A lot of times we're on autopilot, just trying to look the part, trying to play the part, right? And I think that's important, So I think let's talk about some of the themes around where we kind of draw this from, what some of this looks like, right?
Yeah. I mean, what it really is this sustained emotional weight.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, and it's something that people they see it on the outside, like I mentioned earlier. Like people look on the outside, they're looking in and looking at you and like, man, Dave's got it together, but they're not seeing you, the stress, the pressure that you feel, the responsibility, the weight of the responsibility of holding all of this together. Yeah, nobody's seeing that.
Yeah, right? and widowers in particular, men.
Yeah,
in particular, kind of society kind of sees it this way, that we're always carrying a lot quietly.
Yeah. But I mean, the reality is like we're exhausted. Yeah. Right. In many cases, people are like, why is he so irritable? Like, why are you snapping? Like, why is he he's not really talking to anybody. Yeah. You're holding all of this internally and holding all of this stress, this pressure to be the strongest person in the room.
Yep.
And think about it. We've done it through our late wives battle.
Yep.
Right. For a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years for some people, if not more.
Yep.
Right. regardless of how many times, we talk about, from the different waves, the different phases, from remission and then it's back. Like you've done it for so long, and then now you're by yourself, taking care of children in some cases, and you're doing it again, right? Just holding it all together. Like that's a lot of pressure for people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's the challenge.
Yeah, and just you're kind of talking about that exhaustion.
Yeah.
This sense of irritability that may come up that you have to kind of manage.
Yeah.
And also maybe there is probably a sense of withdrawal that's kind of happening at that time.
Right.
And you just feel like you can never really fully relax.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like some places, some of us don't sleep.
Yeah.
I used to think it was I used to I remember the first part, like I'd be up all night watching TV, thinking, I just have all this energy. I don't feel like I'm tired. Right. And then at some point in time, I'm realizing during the daytime, I'm like barely holding myself together. And I'm, like you said, I'm irritable. I can't focus, can't concentrate. And this stuff is presenting itself. And, I'm losing my patience with people. Right. So, I mean, that's like, those are the parts where it's really rough,
Yeah, certainly when you talk about staying up and watching whatever show and whatever, that concentration it's going to dip.
Oh, yeah.
That next day.
Yeah.
So it really is from that lack of sleep, that short temper and that patience that you start to lose. I mean, it's gonna really disrupt everything and make it very difficult for concentrating the next day and moving through that and making decisions, whether it has to do with your household or at the job sometimes.
Yeah. So like
You're
basically
still thinking it because it's always in that background for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And then like the other part is like, we always talk about like staying active, staying healthy. And when you feel like you're carrying everything all the time, you may feel like you lose interest in those things, right? Like they don't feel like you barely got enough energy to hold yourself up, hold the kids up day after day, all the decisions. And then I'm gonna go out for a run.
Yeah.
Right. Or I'm gonna go to happy hour with, like, nah, but I'm stay home.
It's too much, man. It's too much on stage almost.
And I'm not saying that's healthy. Like this is not like, hey, it's okay to, like, you gotta, that's the part where it's like, how do you got to get to a point where you recognize these things.
Yeah. That withdrawal from friends and family, that's where it shows up.
Right.
That this sense of the fatigue of being strong all the time. So that you can identify it there.
Yeah. Did you go through, or have you gone through any like physical like aspects of it? I mean, I talked about earlier, like, me feeling like the tension in the back of my head or in the back of my neck, and like recognizing, at one point I went to the doctor, like, I think I have a tumor.
Yeah.
Right. I'm hypersensitive to it already because my late wife just passed. So I remember going to the doctor, like, I got this tension in the back of my head. I think I have a tumor. He's, no, that's stress.
Yeah.
Right. So any things for you that you experienced?
I think that hypersensitivity to any of the things that may just happen at this age anyway.
Yeah.
And so you start to think, oh, is it this? And there was one episode, man, when I called you.
Oh,
one
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And I thought,
did you
present?
Yeah.
I thought I was having a stroke.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
And I called you, hey, man, what are you doing?
And brothers don't call each other. People like, hold on, let me take some tussin.
That's right. Yeah.
He's got some. Let me just take a ibuprofen and call it a day.
Tylenol, whatever. Just but yeah. I mean, so I've had a scare that I thought it was the buildup.
Yeah.
And I think when you took me to the emergency room, well, actually we went to the urgent care instead, because we realized after diagnosing, self-diagnosis, that it was
GPT and Google.
that it wasn't exactly
right
a stroke. But so and also because remember when you took me to urgent care, I did the drop off at Kara School.
Yes,
for
first,
my
yeah,
youngest
yeah,
for some permission slip and some money that she
Yeah,
needed for
exactly.
and then we went to urgent care.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
come to find out, I'd never had an inner ear infection,
Oh, yeah.
and that's what it was.
Yeah.
And so my balance and equilibrium was all off,
Right.
and the room was throbbing, and all these other things.
Yeah.
And come to know was that. So I haven't felt it. Maybe I didn't understand that
Right.
what I was feeling was actually the weight
Yeah.
and the fatigue
Mhm.
that comes from being strong. Maybe I just pushed through it and what didn't identify it.
Yeah.
But as you said, and men and women, maybe be more in tune with your body so you don't miss those things, because maybe it does lead to something greater.
Yeah.
So maybe that's my fault that I'm not.
Well, I mean, I think I think it's important. I think to your point, like, know what your baseline is, so that you could probably recognize, and it's I think that's a starting point. I think being able to know, okay, well, I don't usually have this pain, or I don't usually feel this grogginess or this disorientation. The minute you start, like, it's okay to be like, hold on, let me check in. Maybe this is something, because it might be something.
That's true.
Right? Like, your body starts breaking down with stress over time. And that's the real. So I think this just leads into, like, areas that it surprises. Like, when you try to hold all of this together, when you try to carry all this weight, has there been anything that surprised you in particular, like, through this experience?
I think it's what starts to surprise you is really that how long you can kind of operate on these emotional fumes that we've had to, that's persisted and has kind of carried us through, or how overwhelming it can be, and it kind of can stop you in your tracks.
Or like you just, until your body or your mind in some cases tells you you're done.
Yeah. So what surprised me, I think, is, and what I didn't really expect about this idea of not wanting to be strong all the time, and that fatigue that sets in, is it again, this emotional exhaustion that can mimic depression or anxiety and physical illness.
Yeah.
And so it's important, I think, to determine, okay, which one of these is this?
Yeah.
And addressing it maybe. But I'm surprised that it shows up in these different forms. It's hard to sift it out and understand.
Yeah, and this is kind of agnostic of our experiences. This is more symbolic of anybody carrying, who feels like they're carrying the weight, right? Like, carrying that level of pressure, whether you're carrying financial pressure for your own bills, or financial pressure for your family, or marital challenges that you're having, or you've got a kid who's going through a tough time, or having their health. Like, all these things just present themselves. And it's like, to your point, we are walking around carrying all this weight that we don't talk about
At one time.
right? I think another one, like, we talk about it, right? Like, functioning this long, functioning and operating for so long with when you at this level, and you never bring yourself down to actually chill and relax, right? And decompress, or never talk to somebody who can release. I think, it was like the body keeps score, right? Like, it does, right? Like, I remember, like, going to the gym. I was going to working out like a couple of years ago, and started getting pains in my shoulders, and my doctors. I'm going to my doctors, and he's like, "You got weightlifters shoulder," and I'm like, "What's that?" I don't.
Did you just make that up, Doc?
Like, I'm like, weightlifters? I never heard of it. Oh yeah, it's a thing where if you lift too much weight, and so you can't do push-ups. I was like, can't do push-ups? Like, everybody does push-ups. You telling me I can't do push-ups? But the whole premise of, like, at this age, my doctor's like, you don't need to be working out as much as you're doing. You don't need to be lifting as much weight as you're lifting. Like, we have to think about that just in the context of the burdens that we carry. One, we don't have to lift this much weight by ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? We don't have to lift this much weight all this time. And I think we have to think about that as well. And, like, and that was something that surprised me as well, was like, I had this goal, particularly earlier on in my grief journey and my single parenting journey. And even after I got remarried, I got to carry it all by myself. It's my burden.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason we have family and the reason we have friends is because sometimes we need help lifting things.
Yeah.
that was the surprise for me, right? The surprise for me was everybody's outside looking at me like I got it. And I'm thinking in my head, like, well, this is mine to carry.
Mm-hmm.
But the minute I opened up and started telling people, and particularly my wife, like, she started recognizing, like, I'm getting snappy, I'm snappy, I'm short. She's seeing the exhaustion. The minute I started opening up and saying, okay, you could take this, or hey, let me call and release this.
Yeah.
Like, people were like, oh, I thought you had it all.
Right.
So in some cases, the surprise is how willing people are to help. The other surprise for me was realizing how many people just didn't know. Right. Like, there's a part of you is just like, man, I'm doing this all by myself. Nobody's offering for help. You don't ask for help. That's the number one problem.
That's right.
But the two is
That's
the perception is meant. The other
Yeah.
part is people are looking at you like, man, he's got it all together.
Yeah.
That's a surprise for me because I don't feel like I have it all together.
And say again about the body keeps score on that. So kind of what were those elements what were those markers really?
Yeah, I mean, like like I said, you getting headaches and the digestion's all weird because you're carrying stress, or like you getting sick more than usual.
Yeah.
Like random colds. I remember just feeling like every 3-4 months I'm getting like a cold that got me out for a week.
Wow.
And that's my body saying, I've had enough. You're doing too much.
Yep.
Right. Like that stuff is real. And I think that one is like, and we talked about the brain fog, forgetting things. My wife jokes all the time, like, you 50 something, might want to take that memory test, start doing Sudoku.
Something will help you.
Right. But I also know now, the less stress I carry, the more things I try to like outsource.
Yeah.
I'm remembering my words more. I don't forget as much.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's real.
Yeah.
So
that's the body telling you some stuff there.
Yeah.
I think also what surprises me, or one, is this sense of productivity really hiding this unresolved grief.
Oh yeah.
How often have we heard this story of men and women going deeper into, well, yeah, I can't do that right now because I need to do this presentation, or I need to do this project for the children, or I'm planning this party for somebody else and what have you. Or they go deeper into, well, one dude I know, ski instructors, just went deeper into, well, I just don't have any time. I'm on the hill all the time. So I just don't have time to think about the trauma that he was dealing with.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. You don't, everything becomes a priority over the things that need to be a priority.
That's right.
Right. Your health, right. Your self-care.
Yep.
Right. Like everything else.
So important.
And then even the things that you need to do that just take longer because you can't concentrate.
Yeah.
Right. Like you're essentially starting to burn yourself out.
And so what's so funny, Jamal, is when we were younger, we would always hear from the elders, well, health is wealth. Boy, don't we know that now. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the reality is like when you start going through this and you start feeling the strain, right? Like it's not like, I joked around like the muscle fatigue. Yeah. When you're in the gym and you're working out and you're doing supersets, that muscle fatigue comes quickly.
Yeah.
Right. You hit that fifth set, you're not taking the 30-second break, like that, you're going to feel that muscle fatigue quicker. Right. With this level of stress and this weight, it disguises itself because you could carry it for so long. And that's the part that I think is a surprise to people, because then it feels like it comes out of nowhere. No, it's been building up.
That's right.
It's been there.
It just reached the top. So
yeah,
which this is so true. What surprises you is even strong support systems don't eliminate the need for intentional recovery.
Yeah.
It's necessary. A machine, a system is going to break down if there isn't maintenance to it.
Yeah.
There's just no question about it. Even the strongest optic, you see it in front of you, internally, the inner workings.
Yeah.
There is recovery that is needed. A break, a respite.
I mean, it's you almost picture yourself, as, when you say going through this and carrying this burden, carrying the burdens after it.
Mhm.
It's not just holding up the ball. It's like, picture the Atlas with the world on his shoulders. Like, you're not just, no one thinks about that image. You always see that image as a still image. But the reality is you're walking with that world on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Totally different workout, right? Totally different level of stress.
Yeah.
When you're trying to move with all of that stuff, move through your day, move through breakfast, through lunch, through dinner, through your job, through the kids' school dynamics, through all these other elements of life.
That's right.
This is not just a still shot. This is you carrying all of this stress through every moment of your life.
And then it's the repeat of that and getting that strength to, let me go do this again and again and again.
You are going to be exhausted after this.
Yes.
Like, that is the normal, you're going to find an exhaustion point. And it's important to recognize that before it becomes a crash point.
Yeah.
Right.
There it is.
So I know for me, like, where I personally struggled was asking for help. I still struggle.
Yeah.
Right. There's a part of me that still, even now, I did it all before. And there's a part of me, even I'm remarried, and my wife and I deal with this, Jordan, and now we deal with this now, where she's like, you don't ask for help. There's a part of me that still feels like the grief process and the loss process wasn't her burden.
It's yours almost alone.
It's still mine almost alone. It's not fair to her because I don't let her. It prevents me from allowing her to be present, to help me, to be present, to help the kids. And that's something I have to constantly remember. Like, this is not mine alone.
Yes.
It's also me saying, like, and through that, I think that's something that I've learned to have to be okay saying, I've got to go and ask for help. Whether it's Jordan, whether it's a friend, whether it's my family, whether it's the extended family, like, being able to do that early in, it was even harder, right? Again, people are looking at you like, oh, he's got it all together. And then there's a part of me that's just like, I got this. I could carry this by myself. Like, it's fool's pride in a way.
Yeah. The choreography of it all, it's on you. You're the head choreographer.
It's my show. Yes, this is my show. Yeah, this is my show. I got it.
Right, exactly.
I'm on stage. You guys sit in the audience and watch this all fall apart. Right?
I'll do the solos.
Yeah, exactly.
Where I struggle is, and you had really just said it, is this: admitting how overwhelmed after operating months and months on your own in survival mode. This is something different now.
Yes.
Especially when you enter into another union with your now wife, Jordan. You're out of survival mode now.
Right.
This is coming together to thrive together, to build more memories based on the present and not the past.
I think when you think about it, like, it's two things. It's the one I talked about, which is not asking for help.
Yeah.
And then it's the one that you just talked about, which is not saying I'm tired and not admitting weakness or not admitting that there are times that you don't feel strong enough. Like, those are two things that was just like, we as men in particular feel we struggle so much with exhibiting weakness and admitting, that we're not always as strong as we try to present.
And not necessarily weakness, but it's more vulnerability.
Maybe weakness is the wrong way to think about it.
It's hard to maintain a constant and even veneer and facade. I mean, no, it can't be done without rest.
Do you ever feel like I know another one for me was never feeling like I can actually take a break and sit down and do something for myself.
Yeah.
Watch a show.
Feeling guilty about it almost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that. But there's times that my daughter, even Zaya, she knows I'm a Knick fan.
Yeah.
And or whatever. She'd be like, Dad, there's a Knick game on today. You gonna watch the game? Oh no, I don't have time. She's like, Dad, you need a break. I'm like, no, I have stuff to do. What?
Yeah.
Like, if the game comes on after dinner, right? Like,
yeah.
No, I still need to be doing something.
to maintain your man card.
I don't want anybody to know that
Superman strength or whatever.
There's so much to do. I have to constantly be doing it.
Yeah.
That
I've realized you have to sit in that and enjoy that time. You really do. I guess I can enjoy it now more, for sure. I can say enjoy, but it really is a period just, let me turn on this mindless whatever. Or it's something into, ooh, I like this nature special, because I really do like nature and those and the whales and the ocean life and sea life. I love all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's peaceful too, and I'm learning something.
Right.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
I like the mindless stuff. I don't do the housewives of whatever. Like some of my other dudes do. Like,
yeah, I'm not a housewives guy.
You don't do all that. But anyway, I do watch good trash. As my friend says, there are certain shows that, it's all junk food. One is In-N-Out Burger and the other one is McDonald's stuff. And that's the designation of, I like that. You know what it is.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I think the other one is like making the decisions, the mental fatigue, the emotional numbness. I think we all, like, I know I dealt with some of those things of like just, kids are like, Dad, I need $10 because there's a trip tomorrow. I'm like, like that felt like it's like in the moment when you thought you had enough that day.
Yeah.
You'd be like, $10.
Yeah, you ain't got no job.
Right. Like in that moment, it's easy. It's $10.
Yeah.
Here you go. Like, here's the $10. But when you're already at the fragile point, right? Like you're the camel waiting for that last straw, right? Like that $10 is huge, right? Like,
and what you talk about is, staying patient with your children.
Yeah.
When the emotional reserves, they're gone, man.
Yeah.
They depleted.
Yes.
Yeah.
So. No, it's funny, like, and again, it doesn't go away because men are men. Like we do this, whether we are single fathers, widowers, happily married. We do that. We carry the burden. Zaya asked me the other day, my 16-year-old asked me the other day, like, oh, Dad, she came into my office and she's like, Dad, hi. And she's smiling. She's like, hey, Dad, hi. And I'm like,
what you want?
How much do you need?
Exactly right. Yeah, we know what.
And she's just like, how do you know? I was just like, because you don't come into my office unless you want money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But there's a point where it's just like, even that, it's just like, oh, I thought I had 5 minutes to, and you need those. But you also need to recognize when you're carrying too much.
Yes.
So that you're not unavailable to the people that care about you and you care about.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think there's so many, we talked about like health, the mood, eating right is important.
Sure.
Eating right is important for your physical health as much as your mental health. I think I remember like looking up many times and realized I didn't eat for half the day just because I'm doing everything else.
Yeah.
Right. Like you lose the appetite to eat because you are so focused on like just getting through the day and carrying everything else. I think those are like things you can't like forget.
Yeah.
You've got to like not let those things consume you.
Yeah, for sure. So. And I think kind of lastly about where I struggled is knowing when you need to talk and when you need to be quiet, or when you need to talk to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a therapist. That could be somebody who has experienced what you all listening and watching us and what you and I have worked through all this time to be as whole as we can for ourselves, for the people around us and our children, what have you. So avail yourself of someone, a professional, or some people who've been through it with you. So I think that's where I struggled to a degree, and you keep it all in, and then that pressure builds, and then that it etches away and ekes away at your sense of strength.
No, it's true. And listen, I think that all goes to, I think talking about it leads into like the worst thing you can do, or is a byproduct of the worst thing you can do, which is feel like you have to carry it all alone.
Yeah.
Right. I think being able to talk about it, I think to me is like an entry point of having a conversation and telling somebody like, yeah, I am swamped. I'm struggling. I am like dragging my feet.
Yeah.
I feel, and maybe you're not. Maybe you just feel like I've got the weight of the world on my shoulders and I'm getting through every day and I'm doing it successfully, but that's not helpful.
Yeah.
Right. But even being able to like get to a point where you're not carrying it alone, whether you're asking for help, or just talking about it.
Because then you're pretending.
Yeah.
And you're not really helping yourself or anyone, making it look like you're fine.
Right.
When you're not.
Yeah.
So, what makes it worse and how I think it kind of has shown up, for me and for some of the people that are listening and watching is believing that strength means never showing vulnerability.
Yeah.
We already talked about that.
Yeah.
It's just going to make that worse.
Right.
And you're further back behind to move forward.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, I think you there's always the pressure from everything outside in society that men should, not complain. Or, I hate the word when we say, I don't want to complain. People ask, I used to, people, how you doing? I can't complain. I can fucking complain.
Yeah,
right. I can complain. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. This is hard. I'm doing this by myself. And even if I'm not doing it by myself, it's still hard. Like, I can complain, but we don't do it. Like, we don't allow ourselves to not complain is the wrong way to frame it. We don't allow ourselves to say how we're feeling, right? And be vulnerable in that moment to let somebody know, like, man, today was a tough day.
Yeah.
Today was a tough day. I feel like I'm doing it by myself. Maybe I am doing it by myself.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like I have any help, or I don't know where to go to turn to, or I can't find a minute to get a break. Like, that's all okay to say.
In the situations that it's not. And
right.
And because some people just ask that because that's
what matters. How you doing, man?
Right, exactly.
And they don't really hear you.
Right. So then it's maybe where certain phrases, they say it all, especially if they know your story and they make them think again. So when people ask me something like that, hey, man, I'm trying to make it look as good as it can with all things considered.
Yep.
Or, doing the best we can, all things considered, all things going on. And then it's, maybe they'll think about my situation or realize he's got some stuff going on, and let's leave it right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And so those catchphrases can help kind of lessen the sting of actually, what's going on internally, and it's hard to discuss, and maybe it's not appropriate at that time and with that person, and that's not the right person to talk about.
Yeah.
And those situations may exist,
and
those encounters may happen.
Yeah. I think another thing too is, like, again, we talked about it a little bit earlier, is not sleeping.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you hear so much now about recovery, and like now you hear, like, it's lack of sleep is tied to so many different things health wise. But if it's literally the 1 minute where you actually can say, I've had enough today. I've eaten the good meal before. I've eaten a couple good meals today. And kids are tucked in, or they're in their room quietly fading off this. I'm actually going to lay down, and like so many of us don't do that, and don't take that time to, like, go to sleep, close your eyes, just be okay, not doing anything and being still. Like, that's a critical part of, like, being able to get up the next morning.
You need it
and do it all again,
because you have to muster the energy to do it again.
Yeah.
I'm sure many of you, and we have been in the situation, you're laying in the bed, it's a deep sigh. All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back at it again today.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
The other item that can make it worse is overcommitting at work or other activities related to the household, and doing and engaging those responsibilities as if that is going to take away that distraction, to take away the responsibility.
Yeah, I think there's a part where it's overcommitting, I think, is also tied to not creating your boundaries.
Yeah.
Or understanding your boundaries, and or what's your boundaries, but also what is your tolerance.
Yeah.
Like, listen, don't go to the gym and throw 4 plates.
Don't start there.
Do not throw 4 plates on that rack.
No.
Or on that bar if you can't get 4 plates up, right? Like, when you're taking on too much, like, you're going to hurt yourself, and you're going to hurt other people, right? Emotionally, physically, and otherwise. And I think that's something where, like, you have to recognize your own boundaries. And I know for me, I got to a point where I had to understand what's my threshold, right? Like, I got to a point, even with my kids. All right, too many activities. You signed up for too many things. There's too many things on the school calendar that we had to show up to.
Yeah.
And this is too much for me. Like, it's even got to start there. And then when at some point in time, you got to reel, okay, I don't have the bandwidth for all this other stuff. Because what are you trying to prove?
Yeah.
Right. We're not Superman.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think what can make it worse is this lack of consistent support from people who truly understand.
Yeah.
It's that re-explaining, and that's taking away, sapping away, siphoning away, I should say, your sense of strength and getting back to that.
Yeah, I think you in this experience, I think, one of the worst things you could do is surround yourself with the, people who aren't willing to allow you the space to communicate,
or not,
right? And then also, like the people who, there's times there are people, man, I'm having a rough day, man, you be all right. Like, you just cut me off from, right? And I'm not saying that person doesn't mean well. They look at you and they say, my man's going to be all right. Yeah. He's going to be, but in that moment, like, you didn't have time, or you didn't have the opportunity to say, no, but I don't feel like it. Right. And I think that's it's not to say cut your friends off. It's not to say, hey, get people. It's just knowing that you need people to bring people into your life, or pull the people into your life more, who are going to let you be like, man, this is heavy. This is hard. It's a lot. I need help. Like,
and I need you to listen.
Not
give me advice.
Right. Because, we always want to give advice.
Here's what you're going to do.
Here's what you need. Like, but I'm learning more. I still continue to learn, even though, now with, my remarried, my wife, sometimes she'll talk, and I'm ready. I got the solution. I know what you should do. And there's times that I'm like, and I'm like, and you got to be okay listening. And then they might say, like, what do you think I should do? Right. But yeah, we got to be okay not solving a problem, or not expecting somebody, to solve the problem. But yeah, and I think that's it goes in, like, being okay to be tap into that vulnerability, right? And knowing that vulnerability and that ability to connect with the right people, ask people for help, know your own limits, like, all of that is going to help with, getting through this.
Yeah, definitely. What will help, just further on that, is, you've talked about it at length, is the therapist.
Yeah.
Even beyond the loss or whatever that trauma is, still tapping into as needed. And when you self-analyze, diagnose, understand when it gets to be too much, going back to that. Even when we talk about sports and music a lot, there are certain people who might have the voice that's so recognizable to many of us. Sometimes they have to go in, and there are certain drills or certain care, having more of that singing less, in sports, especially golf, which I'm not really a big golf guy, but I can understand where this shot isn't holding up for me. I need to go out there and swing it a little and do some exercise and what have you. It's the same thing going to a therapist. Ooh, I thought you gave me the tools, but I need a little bit more. I need a reset. Let me go speak to that person.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's one, we always talk about giving the thing a name.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Your therapist is going to be like, what's the call? But, like, you already know what you're feeling. You may not be able to I feel tired. Oh man, I'm frustrated. Oh, keep working on that name. Right. You're getting exhausted.
That's it.
Right. Like, you're burning yourself out.
Yep.
And you can't ignore it. Right. I think that's going to be a key one. And then accepting it, rest. Like we talked about, getting that sleep, that recovery, connecting with the people who you can trust.
No question.
Just the things that aren't important.
That's right. Reduce that. Get that out of there.
Yeah.
You can't do it all. And just building this, and we will continue to talk about this, and we just mentioned before, build those simple routines for sleep, for how you're moving around and keeping your body active, and also the quiet.
Yeah.
And knowing when to be quiet. Build that.
Yeah.
And that's going to replenish you when you feel fatigued from being so strong.
Yeah. I think it's allowing others to help with the responsibilities, especially when you're a single dad or a single mom going through this. Your kids, they got to become part of this, right? They can't just have your kids sitting on the couch watching TV, swiping through the TikTok screen or wherever it is they're looking while you're running around crazy. Not only are you going to feel like there's no help, you're going to build resentment to maybe your kids, to maybe family members. Like, you're going to build resentment to people who you actually haven't even asked for help. So you got to get other people involved with helping with some of the easy things that you need help with. Right.
Yeah.
And those are some key ones.
Yeah. Just that last point of understanding that vulnerability strengthens this resilience after this moment that everything has been weakened in everything that you know. So if you're listening and exhausted and just you're holding on to everything and keep trying to keep it together.
Like we say, this does not mean you're weak. You feel like you're trying to be strong for everybody, but this doesn't mean that you're getting weaker.
Yeah.
You're right.
You've just been carrying this far too long, all by yourself.
Yeah. And listen, what if the strength of this isn't, about you carrying everything alone? Like, what if that's not what this is about?
Yeah. What if real strength is truly knowing when to put something down?
Yeah. Listen, when you I always think about the people, you see these videos of people in the gym and they lifting weights and they on the bench press and they struggling and it's toggling from one side to the other, and they quietly in their corner struggling.
Yeah.
And eventually you got to yell for help.
Yeah.
That's not weakness. You maxed out those muscles, man.
That's knowing your strength.
That's knowing your strength. Right. That's knowing your strength.
So for me, just as I think of what I've kind of taken from this experience to this point, that the healing and realizing I didn't have to perform all this strength all the time.
Yeah. And then, even when you do that, realizing that you've got to rest.
Yep.
And you've got to put down the weights. You've got to take all the weight off your shoulder and give yourself time to recover, because there's another day that's going to be there for you to do some of this all over again.
Yeah.
Right.
Allow that help from people in the small ways, because those small ways definitely add up to something larger and gives you that kind of break that you need.
Yeah. And listen, it's like burnout is a human thing. Like, everybody goes through burnout in some form or fashion. Doesn't make you weak, doesn't mean that you're not strong enough to carry this. It just means you're human, and there's nobody on this planet who can do it all alone.
Yeah.
Right. So, with that, if you could take anything from this, like,
being tired, it doesn't mean you're failing.
No, it means you've been carrying some heavy stuff. Grief, loss, stress, trauma. It's all heavy stuff, and you've been doing it for too long.
And as you said earlier, sometimes it's that realization, hey man, I gotta put some of this weight down.
Yeah. Today's gonna be a light day.
That's right. Let me get my stretches going. Let me get my mobility.
That's it.
Right.
So, yeah.
Hey, so we really thank you for joining us again on Getting Back Up, Finding Life After Death.
We appreciate you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, thumbs up, 5 stars, all the reviews.
Send the comments. Keep them coming. We love seeing those, and so we can do that show, that review show. Yeah, I like that comment show that we do. So, hey, thanks so much. Enjoy.
Thank you for joining us on Getting Back Up, Finding Life After Death. If something in today's episode spoke to you, pass it on, because somebody out there needs to hear this.
For sure. We're on all the social mausoleums, so follow us on Instagram, Threads, TikTok. Mostly it will be in the form of Get Back Up podcast.
And be sure to subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcast.
And remember, getting knocked down is part of life.
But getting back up, that's how we live.
We'll see y'all next time.